Hi guys, today we're continuing our work on making connections in fictional genres. So today you will be able to make a connection while you are reading using a poem. So let's go back to reviewing quickly what making connections is. Making connections is while you're reading a story, you are making a connection either to yourself, to another text, or to the world. For instance, it reminds me of a time. To text itself as it reminds me of a time. So maybe an instance or an experience or an event that happened in your life or in someone close to you's life and you witnessed it, and you make that connection for yourself. Now, if it's a text-to-text connection, that means it reminds you of a book or something, an event in a book or a character in a book, and you make that connection. For instance, last week I made the connection to Charlotte and Charlotte's Web, the book Charlotte's Web. So you can make that connection based on a text you've read or a book or something that you've read before. And then text to world is when it reminds you of something that has happened in the world. I think last week my connection, my text to world connection, was when I was talking about how we have to be able to plan about how we get to go back to school after all of this shutdown and stuff. So that's how you make connections. It's either text to self, text to text, or text to world. So today I'm going to do that lesson for you using a poem. So the title of my poem is It Couldn't Be Done by Edgar Guest. So I'm going to read you the poem, and then I'm going to show you how to use the graphic organizer. It Couldn't Be Done by Edgar Guest. Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So he buckled right in with the trace of a grin on his face. If he worried, he hid it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Somebody scoffed, "Oh, you'll never do that. At least no one ever has done it." But he took off his coat and he took off his hat, and the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. With a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or quit it, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you one by one the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle in with a bit of a grin. Just take off your coat and go to it. Just start in to sing as you tackle the thing that cannot be done, and you'll do it. Okay, so this story is it's a poem, but it is a story. It's a story about somebody who decided to do something that everybody says he couldn't do or she couldn't do. And he decided, or she decided, to just, I guess it's a he decided to just buckle right in, to just do what he needed to do to get it done, and he got it done. And then the story, or the poem, ends where it talks about how if you just do it too, if you just buckle right in and you just get busy and do what you've got to do, you can get it done as well. So that's what this poem's about, and there's all kinds of very vivid literary language in there, and some things that just help just kind of make everything pop right out, something you need to think about. It talks about he buckled right in. When you buckle in, you get focused and you stay there till you're done. And the trace of a grin means he had a smile. He was smiling, and it said if he worried, he hid it. So in other words, if he was worried, nobody could tell. And if you keep going, it just keeps talking about how he just kept buckling in. He just kept doing and kept working, and he didn't doubt himself. He just kept going. And so that's what this poem's about. The character was very determined. He didn't want to give up. And I believe that that's the theme of the story, or this poem, is to never give up, to keep trying, to be determined, to keep going. So all of that, I'm going to take all that I know about this story, and I'm going to connect it in my graphic organizer. So in my graphic organizer, I took each thing that we did, just like in the fiction story, where we took the character analysis, the events of the story, the theme of the story, and then the topic. So in the character analysis, it says, do you connect with the character, or what traits do you connect with? So for me, the connection that I made was the character reminded me of my son when he ran track. At first, he always lost the race. But with hard work and never giving up, he won a race. So that was my connection to that character. He didn't give up, just like that character didn't give up. For events, what events do you connect with? Do you connect with the problem and the conflict? Do you connect with the solution? So my connection said, when it says he started to sing as he tackled the thing, reminded me of how I always sing when I clean house because it helps me tackle the work. So that was my connection to one of the events in the poem. Now, for theme, it says, do you connect with the theme? Have you learned this lesson? Have you helped to teach others this lesson? I said the theme is to never give up. So I said, this reminds me of August in Wonder, and despite how hard things are for Augie, he doesn't give up. So I'm so sorry, I kept forgetting to do this. For character analysis, it was a text to self. For events, again, it was also a text to self. That was personal. But this one, I went to the book, and I did a text to text. That was a text-to-text connection. So this poem reminded me of the character August and the theme that he had of never giving up. And then the topic. The topic says, I thought the topic was accomplishing something hard. That was what it was. The theme is to never give up, but the topic was accomplishing something hard, meaning that's what was going on in the story. So it reminded me, it says, I think that learning to ride a bike is hard, and yet a ton of people learn every day. So that to me is a text to world connection. That's something a lot of people do, even though it's hard, but people don't give up. They keep trying until they finally learn that skill. So today, guys, you're going to do exactly what I did on your graphic organizer. You're going to read the poem that I provided to you in this assignment, and you're going to do a character analysis. What connections can you make to that character, whether it's you personally or somebody you know, or maybe it's a character in a book you've read, or maybe it's a character in somebody in the world that you know is just never gives up and keeps trying. In the events, what events do you connect with? Do you connect with any of the single events like I did with the singing, or is it the problem you connect with, or is it the solution that you connect with? And it doesn't have to be to yourself. It could be something you read about or something you know is going on in the world. So a text to text, text to self, text to world. And then the theme. Do you connect with the theme? Is there something that you've read, or something that you have done, or something that somebody else has done that you know of, or somebody in the world that you know of has done something that helps you connect to that theme of your poem? And then finally, for the topic, what connection can you make to that topic? Do you have a similar story that has the same kind of topic? And so that's what I want you to do. Make your text to self, make your text to text, and make your text to world connections using this graphic organizer for your poem. So you're going to read your poem, and then you're going to complete each one of these aspects of the poem. So guys, I hope that you remember today. You will be able to make a connection while you are reading using a poem, and you're going to use this graphic organizer to show what you know. Okay guys, take care. Hope you're having a great week, and I hope you're staying happy and healthy. Bye.